I'm ready to take a bath and soak and relax for the night. Just chill out. But I wanted to read a book while I was in the bathtub. And I actually had this book on the spiritual practice of writing. Now, I've always been a writer. So I was preparing myself to read this book. I had found it in the consignment shop, probably for like $3 or something really cheap. And so I'm thinking I'm going to read about writing, but then I go in my closet where I have books. And of course, you know, I look at this book of Water and the Spirit, and I say, oh, I'm led to return into the source. My visual horizon had grown disproportionately. I was discovering that the eye is a machine that even at its best can still be improved, and that there is more to sight than just physical seeing. But since my experience with the tree, I began to perceive that we are often watched at close distance by beings that ourselves cannot see. And that when we do see these otherworldly beings, it is often only after they have given us permission to see further, and only after they have made some adjustment in themselves to preserve their integrity. And isn't it also true that there is something secret about everything and everybody? What we see in everyday life is not nature lying to us, but nature encoding reality in ways we can come to terms with under ordinary circumstances. Nature looks the way it looks because of the way we are. We cannot live our whole lives on the ecstatic level of the sacred. Our senses will soon become exhausted, and the daily business of living would never get done. There does, however, come a time when one must learn to move between the two ways of seeing reality in order to become a whole person. One must travel to the other side of fear, crossing the great plains of terror and panic to arrive at the quiet one feels in the absence of fear. Only then does true transformation really begin to happen. It feels strange to not be afraid when one thinks one should be. But this is the condition for the voyage to the other worlds. This metamorphosis cannot happen as long as the body is weighed down by heaviness. One must go through a process of relearning, enforcement of these lessons, and the consolidation of new knowledge. This kind of education is nothing less than a return to one's true self, that is, to the divine within us. This is so wonderful. This is confirmation. So there are spiritual forces that are amongst us. There are things that we're not ready to see and experience. And you have to move beyond your fear to get to this, to allow those things into your space. Like, I got some blackout curtains in my room because I want it to be really dark so I can get those messages. And I want to be able to remember those message downloads that I get while I'm sleeping through the night. And when I get those message downloads, I will share them with you. Peace and love.